What's up, YouTube? This is Dragon, and this is another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. So, let's get to the battle at hand. Well, I'm looking at this team, and I'm gonna say that the Pokemon that I fear the most is probably the... I'm gonna say the Gliscor. Nah, not really. Nah. Probably the, Oh man, here I go. Forgetting the names of the Pokemon again. Well, okay, he chose Gliscor first. So, I had Gengar out just because I was thinking about this Gliscor. But, he could have knockoff, which isn't really that big of a deal. Because 2 Shadow Balls would be able to finish him off, so that's good. So let's see. I'm also worried about the, Chandelure. Yes, the Chandelure in this team. That could be a bit of a problem. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with a Shadow Ball immediately. Because that's going to do a ton of damage to a Gliscor. And okay, so he withdraws. So hopefully he doesn't go into his normal type. And nope. Nope. Bad choice. That's the worst choice you could have possibly made. Nope. That's the worst thing you could have done. The worst thing. There is no logic to that choice whatsoever. I mean, because obviously I would have just gone for a Shadow Ball. I am a Ghost type. I am a Gengar. Why would you choose... Why would you do that? That's pure insanity. Alright, so with that, now that he shows this Pokemon, let's see, he cannot Extreme Speed me, but he can Bullet Punch me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for the Focus Blast. Focus Blast will be a one-hit KO, no matter what he decides to do, and I get him! And I get him! That's it. Devastation. Done. No, not one-hit KO, because of the Focus Sash. I was hoping that he wasn't sashed, but... here we go. So that's the Iron Tail. My defense falls. He has Iron Tail, which means that he does probably have Bullet Punch. I would not be surprised. The fact that he is using Iron Tail, he's not going to use Extreme Speed. He's probably going to use Iron Tail again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to predict that. And I'm going to go into my Conkeldurr because, let's see. I could then use Destiny Bond potentially on his... You know what? Is it even worth it? Is it worth it? You know what? Yes, I'm gonna go into my Conkeldurr. I'm gonna go into Conkeldurr. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Because Iron Tail isn't gonna be able to... well, the match is forfeited. Alright, so, well, definitely gonna have to have another match with that. Because... I mean, I really have no words for what just transpired. Okay, let me look at my webcam real quick. Make sure I tick off that option. Okay, we're good. Good stuff. No, and yes, we'd definitely like to have another battle. Alright, continue battling? Absolutely. My goodness, like guys, I mean, if you know that someone has a Gengar out, you know, don't choose to... well, I haven't battled in a long time, my goodness. Yeah, don't choose to go into a Ghost type when you know that the most probable move someone's gonna do is a Ghost type move. I mean, that's just pure insanity. How crazy can you be? How crazy can you be, folks? Alright, so let's see where this goes. Alright, so I'm gonna print the screen real quick. And let's see. Scizor, no. Well, Scizor is looking pretty good. At least as far as the Mamoswine and the Fairy Pokemon is considered. So let's see. Rotom. Staraptor. I'm afraid of Ice Shard. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna choose Gengar first. Gengar is the best choice here, because I can survive whatever my opponent decides to do to me. And then from there, oh yeah, Staraptor is definitely a good choice. And let's see, Rotom looks like, yes. So Rotom or Scizor will be good because Venusaurs nowadays don't have Hidden Power Fire. So you know what? I'm gonna choose Rotom. I have an idea. Instead of Staraptor, I'm gonna choose Scizor. And I'm also gonna have Rotom. Yes. And I'm also gonna have Rotom. So if he has the Mega Venusaur, then I'll be able to switch to my Scizor. Okay. Even though I am definitely gonna miss out on not having. Yeah. That's better. That's better. That's better. All right. Yeah, that's better. All right. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. So I'm hoping that, like, if I can kill that Blaziken, then this whole battle is just gonna be a breeze. You know, the Blaziken is the biggest fear I have for my opponent, and I hope he chooses Blaziken. Okay, he doesn't choose Blaziken first. All right, so he goes for the Gengar. That's cool. All right. So let's see. I don't want my Gengar to take any damage yet. So I can go to Rotom. He cannot Earthquake me. He cannot Earthquake Rotom. He's obviously going to use like a Waterfall or something like that, and that's not going to be very effective. And then from there, I can go for the Will-O-Wisp, because let's see. Who would he switch into? That's the question of the day. Who would he switch into? He doesn't necessarily have any Pokemon that would be feasible against it, so I don't know. But, oh, I know. He would go into the Venusaur. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to go into my Rotom. Alright. Good. Gengar, come back. There we go. So, I'll be able to Will-O-Wisp the Venusaur, which would also be pretty good. Okay, he goes for the Yawn. He goes for the Yawn. Should I stay or should I go? Because, you know, I don't want my Chesto Berry to just get eaten up like that. Man, if I knew he was going to go for the Yawn, I obviously would have stayed in. But, let's see. Chesto Berry. Is it worth it? Alright, I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, it's going to eat it up, but there we go. So, that does the damage. Cut. Matter of fact, this is perfect. This is actually not, it's not necessarily perfect, to be honest. Okay. So, there we go. He's burned. Good stuff. So, I'm asleep. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp again, because now would be the time for him to switch into his Venusaur. Alright? Unless he goes for the Yawn again, which should be a pretty smart play regard. Okay, he goes through. So he's going to go for the Yawn again. Yeah, okay, there we go. See, you know, because he wants me to be asleep. So it actually would have been better if I would have done what I just did. You know? But he's definitely going to stay in for now. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump here. There we go. And yeah, I'm going to fall asleep. But after that, there we go. He goes to the Waterfall. But even though I'm going to fall asleep, I'm then going to switch into my Scizor, predicting him to go into the let's say the Blaziken. Either the Blaziken or the Venusaur. Alright, so... Oh, well, also, there goes my Gengar's Focus Sash. So, that's a bit of an issue there. Alright, so... He's not going to go for Waterfall again because that's insane. You know what? Actually, I might have made a logistical mistake. I probably should not have had Rotom asleep. So I'm going to actually stay in though. And I'm going to try to go for the Will-O-Wisp again so I can burn to turn to sleep. Okay, of course he's going to switch now. But hopefully he goes into the Venusaur and not the Blaziken. Okay, oh, he goes into this Pokemon. Alright, well that's cool. I guess it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so this Pokemon, I believe this Pokemon could have Flamethrower. I'm not entirely sure. I've never seen it use it. And I may sound kind of crazy to you guys because, you know, why would this Pokemon have flamethrower? I mean, that's kind of crazy. So he didn't go into the Venusaur, which means that he most likely doesn't have that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go into, let's see, should I go into Scizor? Because Scizor can definitely do some bullet punching. And that'll do some damage, which would be nice. So let's see. I'm going to go into Gengar. I'm going to Gengar. Alright. So if he decides to use a fairy type attack, it's not going to be very effective. And, you know, I'll be able to have a good strong attacker right out here immediately. Oh, good. He goes for the Calm Mind. I was thinking about that. Yeah, he's either gonna be like the defensive type, or he's just gonna like straight up attack me, or he might be the rare Specs variant, but you don't really see the Specs variant that much. So with that, I'm gonna go for the Sludge Bomb. All right, the Sludge Bomb, of course, is gonna do a ton of damage. All right, that'll do at least 50%. There we go. And the Hyper Voice, not very effective, but I am still very much alive. So of course, now what I'm going to do, I'm now going to go for the, actually, not yet. I'm not going to go for the, Destiny Bond. Because I don't know his last Pokemon. Well, if his last, look, how about this? If his last Pokemon is the Blaziken, then, if his last Pokemon is the Blaziken, then it wouldn't matter because you would just, yeah, then it would be kind of moot regardless. So, I'm gonna go for the Destiny Bond. Quick attack. That's right. It turns into Fairy. Okay. All right. So now because he knows I'm gonna use Destiny Bond again, he's probably gonna use Calm Mind. So I'm gonna go for the Sludge Bomb this time. Alright. There we go. Super effective. Rest. And he uses the rest. Okay. So, yeah. So he had that going on. Alright. Sleeping became healthy. Good. It doesn't look like he has a Chesto Berry. Alright. So this is going to be a bit of an issue. I did wish that the Sludge Bomb did do something, but it didn't. So now he's definitely going to be able to go for the quick attack again. And alright, might as well. He's just gonna use quick attack and he's gonna kill me. So what I'm gonna do now I'm gonna go into my Scizor, and I'm gonna start using Swords Dance and building up my power, etc, etc. So hopefully this will work, because if Scizor can't pull this off, then it's more or less a good game at this point. So I might just go for one Swords Dance. Mega Evolution, Swords Dance. Okay, yeah, so the fact that he's doing this means that he probably has Blaziken as his last Pokemon, and yeah, it's a Blaziken. Okay. So I'm definitely forced to switch. No matter what the situation, I am forced to switch. Because there's literally nothing I can do in this juncture. So I have no choice but to switch. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my unfortunately sleeping Rotom, which is why I said earlier this might have been a logistical error, because this Blaziken right here, look, I'm looking at a Blaziken that can use high jump kick on my Rotom, right? So, you know, he's gonna do this, and he might even have a Swords Dance on his own, you know, and then he'll be able to build up a lot of power, use high jump kick, and, you know, be devastating. Okay, so he goes for the Flare Blitz. So that's not going to do much at all to my Rotom. Actually, that... critical hit. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Alright, so let's see. See, like right now, I could have definitely utilized a Resto Chesto, or I could have just been awake, and that would have had an entirely... That would have been an entirely different ball game. Yeah, so yeah, that play might have cost me the game. Yeah. If only I had just a few more seconds to think about that, but oh well. Alright, so I'm going to go and then use... I'm going to use Hydro Pump because I might be able to wake up. Okay, he withdraws. That's fantastic. And let's see, he goes into this Pokemon right here. Rotom is fast asleep. Okay. So let's see. I can't, well, yeah, that was a critical hit, so that wasn't that big of an issue. So, let's see. Okay, I'm going to go into Scizor, and then after going into Scizor, I'm going to switch back into Rotom. Or, man, yeah, this is looking pretty bad. So I'm gonna have to go into Scizor, of course. And here we go. So he's probably going to use the fairy type attack at this point, right? Go straight for the hyper voice. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, yeah, now I'm just going to switch back into Rotom. It may not even make a difference at this point. It probably won't. Okay, that's right. Scizor is definitely faster than that Pokemon. That's a very slow Pokemon. So let's see. Dug into Rotom and he withdraws and he goes back into the Blaziken. So this might give me another chance to... Oh, he goes into this Pokemon. Alright. That's kind of weird. You know, I could have been able to Swords Dance with this guy or something. It's kind of weird. Alrighty then. So, let's see. That might give me just like one more shot. Which means that I can now go and use, let's see, Rest. Am I going to use Rest? Yes. Yes, I'm going to use Rest. Or not. Man, this might just be a moot situation regardless. Oh, man. Well, yeah, I'm a Rest. I'm still fast asleep anyway. Alright, hopefully he doesn't have Roar. Oh, he does have Waterfall though. Okay. Man, that one yawn, man. That's really messing up my Rotom. Really messing up my Rotom here. Alright, so I'm gonna go for, let's see. Yeah, now I definitely have to go for the Rest no matter what. No matter how I feel about it, I'm definitely gonna have to go for the Rest. And Rest, so I get full health. Okay, so now looks like he's staying in, of course, and then I can get one turn of Rest. Now this is kind of strange on my opponent's part. I have no idea why my opponent is playing this Pokemon. Like, this is the worst thing my opponent can possibly do. Like, I don't understand this at all. This makes no sense. If he would have just switched into Blaziken, then that would have been like, blam, he would have just had it straight away. So if that, I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp. Okay, of course he's gonna switch now because, you know, why wouldn't he? Like, it's senseless to stay in, you know. So fast asleep. That's one turn to sleep, and with that, I am now going to go for see, like, I can't necessarily switch now because then that would still be kind of relatively pointless, ironically. So what I might do, I might go for the Thunderbolt and an aim to paralyze. Because what I really need is for this guy to be paralyzed. That's what I really need. Because burning won't do much. And at the same time, a paralysis would allow me to like build up a couple of Swords Dances. I don't know. Maybe I'm just asking for too much at this point. Okay, so I'm gonna go for Thunderbolt. I'm gonna try to paralyze this guy. I'm actually trying to do this nonsense. So he might use Calm Mind at this PA. He's gonna use Calm Mind. Okay. Okay. So of course I'll be waking up at this turn. Well, not this turn, but let's see, is the next one? Yeah, the next turn. So okay, I woke up. Thunderbolt. If Thunderbolt paralyzes, then that'd be great. And he uses Hyper Voice. So essentially, my goal is to, yeah. And now he's gonna, of course, use Quick Attack. So yeah, there's nothing like, yeah. That yawn was really bad because it put my Rotom in a sleepy situation in which I couldn't do anything for, what is it, 5 turns? And in those 5 turns, I could have done a lot. Lesson here, folks. Lesson here. If you got a if they got a Blaziken on their team and you're being yawned and your main defense to that Blaziken, which is really your only defense, is put to sleep, make sure that Pokemon does not go to sleep even if you have the Chesto Berry thing that you could do. Just don't let it happen. Okay, so with that, now we got the Scizor and the Pointed Stones. Okay, so I highly doubt I can live a Hyper Voice regardless of how I feel about it. But I'm going to go for the Swords Dance anyway because he does have the Blaziken on his side. So, you know, might as well go for the Swords Dance. Yeah, I'm probably going to die. I'm most likely going to die from the Hyper Voice from here. Yeah, not very effective. Yeah, doesn't matter. Oh, man. That sucks. That really sucks. I haven't had a battle in quite a long time. And well, speaking of battle, I did have a battle with a subscriber earlier. Well, not earlier, like maybe like a week or 2 ago. And I was really pissed because the video, it didn't record, and I was a bit upset. But it was a good battle, and I wish I could have uploaded it to you for you guys. But you know, it is what it is, and you know, things happen in life and etc. And yes, I have been on a bit of a hiatus. I've been involved in a lot of very complex stuff that I really can't necessarily talk too much about, you know, because I mean I would like to, but well, it's not really that big of a deal. I just been involved in trying to venture out into other things, really. I mean, it's not really something that's necessarily like secretive per se, but like I'm trying to see where I can go in different aspects of my life. And like YouTube is one aspect, and you know, making videos is one, and I love making videos, but at the same time it's like I want to see, like, it takes time to do that, and then the time it takes to do that is where I can be seeing if I can be going in other aspects of my life. You see what I'm saying? You know, I don't want to get too complex about it, but it's basically just me trying out many different variants of destinies or something, you know, basically. Well, I'm glad that you guys enjoy these battles, and as you know, there'll be many more battles like these in the future. Well, see you later.